All right. Good to see you again. Glad you could make it back. And for those who are not returning, but you're first-time visitors, you are most welcome here. I'm continuing in this story about Oz, comparing the life of the highly attractive woman with this wonderful story. But we're going to move it. We're going to morph the Oz concept into the Cinderella concept. Okay. All right. See where this goes. Okay, you've lived in Oz long enough to know its tricks. The bright colors, the applause, the spectacle, the way people stare at you like you're the main attraction in a world made of neon and noise. But Oz was only the beginning, because after Oz comes the palace. After Dorothy comes Cinderella. After the spectacle comes the contract. And you know this contract well. You've been living inside it your whole life. So let's talk about the glass slipper. You learned early that beauty is a stage, a wedding aisle, a spotlight, a performance. You learned that every room becomes a ceremony the moment you walk into it. Men straighten their posture, women adjust their tone. People look at you the way guests look at a bride, with awe, with envy, projection, and longing. But you didn't ask for this, see? You were cast in it. And like Cinderella, you were handed the glass slipper. Perfect, dazzling, fragile, cold. A slipper designed for admiration, not comfort. A slipper that reveals every flaw, every bunion, every callus, and every human imperfection. A slipper that fits your beauty but never fits your soul. You can walk in it, yes, but you can never rest in it. Oh, and then there's the prince. So you can't have a slipper without a prince, right? The one who kneels before you in the fairy tale, the one who promises devotion, the one who seems to see you, but in real life, he kneels that way before everyone: his employees, his clients, his investors, his admirers, his ego. He kneels because kneeling is part of his charm. Prince Charming. Part of his strategy, part of his performance, his performance. And once you become his trophy, you see the truth. The kneeling was never reverence, it was recruitment. Hmm. You married the charm, but you live with the shrewdness. Ah, you endure the temper, the disappearances, the demands, the cold calculations, the emotional distance, the subtle punishments, and the unspoken expectations. You watch him kneel for others the way he once knelt for you, and you learn the hardest truth of all: you were not chosen for who you are. You were chosen for how you look beside him. The next dimension, the palace. The palace is beautiful, but it's not home. It's a workplace, a showroom, a stage. You are the centerpiece, the ornament, the symbol. You are admired, yes, but you are not known. You are displayed, yes, but you are not held. You are celebrated, yes, but you are not safe. And the slipper, that cold, perfect, unforgiving slipper, becomes the contract that you can never take off. Because if you remove it, if you show your bare foot, your real foot, your human foot, you fear he will replace you. And you're not wrong. See, Oz replaces Dorothy. The palace replaces Cinderella, and the world replaces beauty the moment it shows pain. So here's the truth you've never said out loud. You mastered the surface because the surface was the only place you were rewarded. You learned to live in the outer life because the inner life was never supported. You learned to perform because performance was survival. You learned to stay beautiful because beauty was your currency. You learned to stay silent because truth was too expensive. And you learned to stay perfect because imperfection was punished. And you learned to stay in the glass slipper because bare feet are not allowed in the palace. So now we're going to talk about the return, if you're ready. And here's the truth you've been circling your whole life. You were never meant to live in Oz, and you were never meant to live in the palace, and you were never meant to live in the slipper. You were meant to live in yourself. And that's why Avalon exists. Avalon is not a kingdom. It is not a palace and it's not a spectacle. Avalon is the return path, the homecoming, the place where you take off the slipper and feel the ground again, the place where you stop performing, the place where you stop bowing to illusions, and the place where you stop mistaking glamour for love and spectacle for safety. Avalon is where the woman behind the beauty finally gets to breathe. And this is where Dorothy and Cinderella both come home. It is where the glass slipper breaks and your real life begins. So, welcome to Avalon. Come back, visit more. I've got stuff going on in the Sovereign Archive and the Sovereign Way. I mentioned that in the description. There's a lot in the business of becoming a sovereign person, and especially for the highly attractive, beautiful woman whose life is where I just mentioned. So we're working on this together, and we're not going to leave you stranded. We're going to keep producing and providing. Please partner with me. Tell your friends. Come here, visit. Let me know that you're appreciating some of this stuff. Please take a minute to do that. I'm not asking, like, I'm not looking for reach because really this isn't for everyone. These are just for what I'm doing just for special people, just for the select people. And if you're one of those select people, let's turn this into a select gathering. This is not sprawl. This is not reach, as I mentioned. I'm not doing my videos to make any money, to sell any product or anything like that to you guys. I'm just doing this because I've been in this my whole life. It's just my point of view, and if it helps some people, man, it makes me feel fulfilled. And that's my story. Actually, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background in this video. How I worked for years with my dad, a professional photographer. I was also a professional photographer for years. Working, and my former wife, who was, a trained actress and a gorgeous model. But that's a story for another day. So, thanks again for your visit. And if I spoke to you, please leave a comment. Remain, remain in peace.